The sun had barely risen over the small town of Miranpur when 17-year-old Arham stepped out of his house, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Most boys his age were still under their warm blankets, dreaming peacefully. But Arham was stepping into a different kind of dream, the kind that demanded early mornings, tired muscles, and unwavering discipline. He had a dream of becoming a national-level runner, not just for medals, but because running made him feel alive. It gave him purpose, something he rarely felt in academics or social life. But having a dream was one thing, turning it into reality was something else entirely. For years he had been a boy who started many things and finished none. New Year resolutions lasted a week, exercise routines lasted a day, study plans barely survived an hour. His parents believed he was talented, but talent without discipline is like a car without fuel, beautiful but going nowhere. That changed one winter morning when his school announced an inter-district sports competition. A coach from the city would be selecting participants for advanced training. When Arham heard the announcement, something in him shifted. This was his chance, not just to win, but to break the cycle of giving up too soon. He promised himself that day, "This time I will stay, no matter how hard it gets." Chapter 1. The first step is always the hardest. On his first day of training, the cold air sliced through his skin like needles. His feet ached after the first 500 meters. His lungs burned at 800. By 1200 meters, he felt like collapsing. His coach, Sir Kamal, a strict yet kind-hearted man, watched quietly. "You want to be a runner?" he asked. "Yes," Arham replied, though his voice trembled. "Then understand one thing," the coach said, looking straight into his eyes. "Dreams don't work unless you do, and discipline is the bridge between your desire and your success." Arham nodded. It sounded powerful, but at that moment, he was more focused on catching his breath. That day, he walked home with shaking legs and blistered feet. But he didn't quit. Something inside him had awakened, a fire he had never felt before. Chapter 2. Discipline is doing what you must, even when you don't want to. The next morning, his alarm rang at 5 a.m. He groaned, half asleep, tempted to turn it off. He whispered to himself, "Get up. Dreams don't wait." With great effort, he stood up and stepped outside. The world was dark and silent, but for the first time, Arham felt ahead of it. His routine began. Warm-up, stretching, laps, breathing exercises, strength training, and then school. Day after day, the routine continued. Some mornings were brutal. Some afternoons felt endless. His friends went out to play cricket, but Arham was busy training. They stayed up late chatting online, but Arham slept early to wake at dawn. Sacrifice was painful, but discipline was teaching him something valuable. Real growth lives in the moments when quitting feels easier. Chapter 3. The world doesn't reward half effort. Weeks passed. One afternoon during practice, Arham had his worst day. He stumbled halfway through the track. His legs refused to move. He collapsed to the ground, tears of frustration burning his eyes. "I can't do this," he whispered to himself. Coach Kamal walked over slowly. "Tell me, Arham," he said, "is this your best?" Arham looked up, confused and exhausted. "I'm trying. Trying is not the same as giving your best," the coach replied. "Anyone can try, but the disciplined push past their limits. You think champions never fall? They fall more than anyone, but they stand up faster." Those words struck something inside him. He stood up, finished his laps, limped home, and promised himself he would return stronger the next morning. That night he slept with a deep soreness in his muscles, but a deeper strength in his heart. Chapter 4. Small daily improvements lead to big results. Months went by, and slowly everything began to change. Once, his speed improved, his stamina increased, his posture looked more like that of a trained athlete, his confidence grew. He no longer needed motivation to wake up. Discipline took over. Friends teased him. "Tu pagal ho gaya. Itna practice karta hai." He smiled and kept training. They laughed when he refused junk food. He ignored them. They joked about his strict routine. He focused on his goal. Discipline had become his best friend. Silent, steady, loyal. Chapter 5. The day that tested everything. The district competition arrived. The stadium was filled with hundreds of athletes, colorful flags, loud cheers, and anxious hearts. Arham felt nervous, but not afraid. He had earned his place here. When he stepped onto the track, he felt a surge of energy. Months of early mornings, countless sacrifices, injuries, tears, and sweat had brought him here. The whistle blew. He ran. The first lap was smooth. The second felt tiring. By the third, his legs screamed. But Arham kept going. His body begged him to stop. His mind whispered that he couldn't win. Then he remembered. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. He pushed harder. With the finish line in sight, he sprinted with every ounce of strength left inside him. When he crossed the line, he collapsed, breathless, drained, shaking. But the crowd cheered. He had finished second. He didn't win gold, but he had won something greater, his own respect. Chapter 6. The real victory. When Coach Kamal came toward him, Arham looked up nervously. "Second place," the coach said, smiling. "But first in discipline." Arham's eyes widened. His coach continued, "You didn't just run fast today. You ran with heart, with commitment, with discipline. Many boys here had more talent than you, but none had your consistency. That's why you made it this far." Those words were worth more to Arham than any medal. Later that evening, he walked home with a silver medal around his neck and a heart full of pride. His parents hugged him tightly. His mother's eyes were wet with joy. "You've changed," she whispered. "Yes," Arham replied. "Discipline changed me." When you master discipline, opportunities chase you. A week after the competition, an unexpected call came. The City Sports Academy was inviting Arham for advanced training. Only the top 3 runners from the district were selected. The invitation letter said, "We see not just talent, but determination and discipline." Arham couldn't stop smiling. He realized something profound. He didn't reach this point because he was the strongest or the fastest. He reached it because he stayed when others gave up. The world rewards talent occasionally, but it rewards discipline consistently. Chapter 8. The journey continues. Training at the academy was difficult. Longer hours, more intense workouts, tougher competition, strict diet, zero excuses. But Arham was ready. He had already built his foundation of discipline. Now he just needed to grow. Every morning, he trained harder than before. Every evening, he studied videos of world-class runners to improve his technique. He respected time, valued effort, and avoided distractions. Slowly, his results spoke for him. In a year, he became one of the academy's best runners. In 2 years, he competed at the state level. In 3 years, he qualified for the national championship. Each achievement reminded him of the same truth. Dreams don't become reality with wishful thinking. They become real with disciplined action every single day. Chapter 9. Success is a journey, not a destination. On the day of the national championship, Arham stood on the track again, stronger, wiser, more disciplined than ever. As he waited for the whistle, he reflected, "Rewal Ban?" The cold mornings, the painful injuries, the loneliness of sacrifice, the moments he wanted to quit, the times he doubted himself, but he also remembered the discipline that kept him going. The whistle blew. He ran, not for medals, but for the boy he once was, the one who was afraid of effort, afraid of failure, afraid of himself. He ran for the discipline that shaped him, and this time he finished first. Gold. Tears streamed down his face as he held the medal. His coach hugged him. His parents cried with pride. He had become a national-level runner, but more importantly, he had become a disciplined human being. Years later, when Arham began coaching young athletes, he told them discipline is not waking up early or working hard. Discipline is keeping a promise to yourself. Your dream is like a destination, and discipline is the engine that takes you there. He taught them that. Talent may open the door, but discipline keeps it open. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline completes it. Success is built on small habits repeated daily. Discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. His story became a symbol of hope for many, because he proved that you don't need to be perfect, gifted, or lucky. You just need discipline. Final message: dreams are beautiful, but they are powerless without action. Discipline is the force that shapes your life, builds your character, and turns impossible goals into achievements. When you choose discipline, you choose growth. When you choose growth, you choose success.